Well, here we are, March 2nd in the Dome. I want to give you an update in this video about what exactly is going on, what I've planted, what's taking off, what surprises I've seen. There's a lot to share this week in the Domes. I hope you're as excited as I am. So let's start with what's growing. Right now, I still have my arugula beds growing strong. I've done 4 to 5 harvests now, and they just keep coming back stronger than ever. The more I harvest, the more I can pick. But eventually, these are going to go away because they aren't quite as tolerant at hot temperatures as other vegetables are. So I think I might be narrowing down these beds pretty soon. But one thing I did add in between the arugula is I've planted a couple of beet seedlings. So 1, 2, 3 beet seedlings and 1 radish. These are some seedlings that I had prepped earlier in the last month. On this side, I've got kale growing strong. I regularly pick and trim these and make kale chips. They're delicious. Also, asparagus. This year, I think our only harvest is 1 single long asparagus, but maybe in a couple of years, we'll have more for our plates. I also planted some rutabagas here. They're a little slow in coming, as well as some carrots. I think today I might plant more because all of this area where I originally planted, I didn't seem to get much germination. And now that it's warmer in the Dome, I might get even more. Last month, I also planted squash. So between summer squash and some winter squashes, they finally started to look more robust. They definitely look like they're gonna survive the transplantation. And hopefully, now that I've treated them for aphids, they're gonna start growing a little bit more quickly with longer sunlight hours. I do have sweet peas finally taking off after planting them back in November. So it's taken a while for these guys to really get going, but now that it seems to be enough daylight and a combination of cooler temperatures, they're really starting to produce now. Now these are the tomatoes that have been growing since last summer. They've definitely slowed down and I'm thinking about replacing them. We really like the flavor of these cherry tomatoes, but we'll see if the leaves and the plant comes back a little bit stronger as the weather gets warmer. Same with this one right here. It's continuing to produce fruit all winter long, but there's not much greenery on it left. I think I'd rather replace that with an heirloom. Here's another cherry tomato plant that has produced profusely all winter long. I can't tell you how many cups of these cherry tomatoes we've harvested and put into our salads all winter. This was a volunteer pepper plant that came out of the compost. It's a sweet bell pepper that we usually purchase at Costco. I'm surprised that it came up in the winter. It grew all winter and now the fruit is definitely starting to get larger. Another pepper plant back here with the smaller lunchbox peppers. This one probably could be split in half. One more, I think this is a Celeste tomato. So this one's a little bit slower in ripening. It was a pretty good producer though, so I don't know. I've got better tomatoes, I think more heirloom tomatoes that I'm wanting to replace them with, so we'll see if we have room. One exciting thing about the Dome is that the grapevines are starting to put out leaves. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a great strategy for adding more shade to the Dome. Same with this grapevine over here. This one was a little slower to produce, but definitely starting to get there. And now that it's acclimating to the hotter window, I think has potential to put up some adequate shade. The potato plants have rebounded since I picked off almost all of the foliage when I had the aphid infestation. The aphids are much better under control now. I don't have nearly the amount as I had. These were covered a couple months ago, and I think there's just a couple, 1 or 2 on there. So definitely much better under control with the aphids. Spraying in here, and I did see a little green potato. So it's got really small potatoes right now, and as the foliage dies back, maybe I'll harvest them closer to April. So that's it for the vegetables, but I'm going to show you the fruit trees, how they're doing. This is the lemon tree, still filled with lots of delicious smelling blooms. They smell so fragrant, and a lot of them I've been trying to hand pollinate, but I think they're going to be little tiny lemons pretty soon. That'll be exciting. I don't know how long it takes for a blossom to turn into a lemon. It's probably close to a year. So we'll see next fall if we've got lemons on the tree. The other exciting thing is happening with this nectarine tree. Look at the top there. There's a couple of pink blossoms, and there's not even any leaves on this tree yet. So the tree is blossoming first, and there's some leaves coming, but there's a couple of leaves right there. But what an exciting thing. I did not expect to see flowers on the nectarine tree. I thought it was the cherry tree, but the cherry tree is a little bit slower. There's not much, just a couple of little buds happening up there, but how pretty is that? Can't wait to see the whole thing. I looked up the variety. It's a Snow Queen nectarine. It says it's self-pollinating. I'm not sure. I did try to paintbrush pollinate those blossoms just to be sure, just in case. But what a delight if we were to have nectarines this year. I'm not counting on it, but I definitely in favor of the flowers anyhow. And speaking of flowers, the mums have made a comeback since last fall. The geraniums love it in here. They've been blooming all winter long. Same with the snapdragons. Now I've put everything into pots because I was trying to make room for more vegetables and more food. So I moved a lot of the flowers into their own pots. I still have a little section to go through here because what I've noticed is that the denser the section is, the more the aphids love to live in there, especially amongst the petunias. For some reason, they love the petunias. Look at all the aphids right there on that petunia. So, you know what? It's a nice to have. It's not a need to have. So I might just pull all these out, put them in pots, and sort of clear up some of that aphid living space. The other tree that's starting to show off now is the fig tree. So lower down, there's another shoot that's come out. I'm hoping this year we actually get some fruit. Last year was its year of transplanting, and it really had a big adjustment period. And on the top here, we've got the top leaves coming out. I do have to watch this for aphids and spider mites because I think that the spider mites were getting to it last year. I haven't seen any evidence yet of them this year, but I definitely want to make sure it stays healthy. And so far, so good. But definitely looking forward to, fingers crossed, some figs this year. That would be delicious. And over onto the final bed. This is sort of my transplanting area, my potting shed. One of my climbing vines is starting to come back. This is honeysuckle, getting leaves on it. And I think I even saw a bud. Where did I see that? Look at this one. It's a little something in there. That would smell really nice and definitely has potential to sort of grow up the side of the dome here. This is also my strawberry patch where we've got a strawberry here. There's a lot of little blooms in the corner. I'm surprised it's doing so well because there's not a ton of sunlight, or there hasn't been, but looks like they're coming. I'd love to have this whole thing filled with strawberries. In addition to the raspberry cane right here, leafing out. And on the other side, the blackberry cane. And we've got a lot of new growth on this new cane. So hopefully this is the year of berries. Now the pond is holding its own. It's still a little algae ridden, I think. We don't have a lot of coverage on the surface to block the sun right now other than the sunshade. There's a few remaining lighter colored floating frog bit, looks like little mini lily pads, and a few water hyacinth. I've tested the water. I've used these testing strips and everything is in range. When you're looking at the colors, there's nothing wildly out of range. So the pond is looking pretty healthy. I just need a little bit more foliage in the pond just to have a little bit greater health. And see if you can see down here, there's a whitefish, but also these are lily pads that sort of are dormant in the winter time and looks like they're just a few weeks away from reaching the surface here. So excited to see lily pads come back. I have 2 containers of them. So they're potted in a cloth pot, so there's soil in there. They're tubers. All right, so there's the other pot of lily pads down there. That one's not growing quite as quickly, but I would say this one's just a few weeks out from growing towards the surface, so maybe by the end of March. And that would be really fun to see some more lily pads all over this pond. It's definitely a large size pond with a lot of surface area. Also, the other citrus trees are putting out new leaves. So while the lemon tree was the first to bloom, these aren't really putting out any blossoms yet, but they're definitely putting out new growth. So I'm happy to see that because I definitely am guilty of overwatering. You can see by the yellowing here. So I definitely overwatered this lemon tree, probably during a time of year when I shouldn't have been watering it quite so much, but it definitely tons of blooms, hopefully some that will be turning into little mini lemons at some point later this year. And the last exciting thing in the dome is all of the new seedling starts that are going on right now. So this was a tray where I did bok choy, broccoli rabe, cauliflower, watercress, radishes, and some lettuce. So definitely looking pretty solid there. And then this one was beets, you can tell by the red, and some I think some watercress, onions, and some more beets and spinach. This one, I didn't get germination in every single little cell, so I might try to add some more. I'd love to have more onions, and I'd love to have more beets as well. In here, I've got herbs, so catnip and dill. And this one is, I've got some things that are sort of volunteer, so I'm not gonna know exactly what these are until they get a little bit bigger. But this one in the middle is moringa. This is a tropical superfood that turns into a small tree that you can eat all of the leaves and the stems and the roots and the seed pods. Pretty much the entire thing is edible and high in antioxidants, so I'm happy about that. I actually grew one last year hydroponically, but the aphids got to it first. This one is thyme with something else bonus in there. And then this one is lemon balm, some more herbs, and oregano, not quite yet. Let's see this one. One is the bequino pepper, 2 hot peppers, and a little bit of volunteer seedlings, because the seeds stick to your fingers. You know, they travel. Holy basil on this one and regular basil on this one. And then I've got sunflowers here and edamame. So I'm gonna do soybeans, that'll be fun. Definitely a favorite snack of ours. Looks like one might be ready to go into the ground right now. So I got 3 separate plants here. So I should probably separate those quickly. And then I've got my heirloom tomatoes. So this is the Jersey Devil. This is a sauce tomato. And then over here these are my heirloom tomatoes. So Alice's Dream is like a orange yellow tomato. And then the True Beefsteak is like one of those purpley red tomatoes. So I got 2 of those. So we eat a lot of tomatoes. And if we're growing tons of tomatoes in here, I'm happy about that. And then these were some of the nightshade plants that are experiments that I've never grown before. So this one is huckleberry. This is a nightshade fruit. So I've got 3 small ones right there, hoping to give those a try this year. And then this one is tiny, but this is the tamarillo. This is the tamarillo nightshade fruit tree. It's a dwarf tamarillo, but it's still a regular sized tree you can grow into. So definitely a lot going on the seed table. A strong start for spring already, and we're only March 2nd. So definitely a lot to look forward to. So that's the official garden update from the dome, but it's been such a joy just to be in the dome doing chores like watering and pruning and spraying neem oil for the aphids. I actually spent 4 hours in here today, mostly just pruning and repotting flowers that I needed to pull out of the beds so I could make room for all the new seedlings going in soon. When it's sunny outside, it feels like summer in here, even though it's March, and it's definitely my happy place and calm, peaceful refuge. Stay tuned for the seedling transplanting into the bigger beds, and hopefully this coming season will be one for the record books. I can't wait to see what it looks like in here in just a few short months.